Hi everyone, Tony from Hack the Movies here with...
Tom from Tom Scholl doing fun stuff with Phil.
Yeah, and let me just say, me and Tom both saw a new soft reboot for an established franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it had its flaws, but at the end of the day, I think it was really good and respectful to the original. Of course, I'm talking about Jurassic World. Now let's talk about Terminator Genisys.
Yeah, clearly.
Terminator Genesis is a piece of shit. So, Tom, talk about this bullshit.
Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger's back.
I'm back.
Oh wow, what a surprise!
You didn't see that coming?
Oh no, it would have been shocking if when Arnold came back in the second movie, because like, oh, there's another Arnold robot. Oh, how cool! And then by the third movie, it was like, oh, this is going to be a thing now. Okay. This is another attempt to revitalize this franchise, which honestly should not be a franchise.
No. You see how we got the first one here, and
Yeah.
then we have the second one. I think we could have been good there.
But honestly, me personally, I think we're good with just the first one. I like the second one. Like,
Yeah.
I know people love the second. It's all their favorite. You all love it. I like it. It's kind of just the same movie as the first one.
It's the exact same movie as the
Just
first one.
with a different target and a slightly different plot and more special effects. James Cameron really liked his water effect in Abyss, and he was like, what if we made it silver? Oh my god, I have a Terminator idea. And then he was like, fuck, what's the story going to be? Whatever, I'll just do the same thing I did in the first movie. I want this water Terminator. But it's a very important film, Terminator 2. It's kind of interesting. It's an interesting film just because like the first one could just be another run-of-the-mill 80s.
Yeah, easily forgotten.
B-movie.
Easily forgotten.
Somehow it became this memorable thing, and then the second one just exploded it and became this icon. I know a lot of people who've never even seen the first one, and like Terminator 2 is like their favorite movie.
Those people should be shot.
Which just baffles me, because I like the first one more than anything. Although it does have some dodgy effects that don't hold up. The second one has the second one has some effects that do hold up. The first one, Arnold's eye, the prop
was the
head.
Best.
It was
almost as good as Recall.
It was okay, but then they hold on it for so long, and it's like, no, it doesn't look real. Cut away. And then Terminator 3 is when you get the drop off.
Talk to the hand.
Terminator 3 was just, hey, remember those characters you liked? Hey, remember that situation that you enjoyed watching them in? Hey, do you want to see it again?
Yeah.
Well, we got it.
But they stopped Judgment Day. Nope, it's inevitable.
It's inevitable, because we didn't learn anything from the past two movies.
Oh, wait, we gotta introduce a new robot. So this one's like an Arnold robot, but with liquid metal skin for some reason, and it can make other robots and machines move somehow. Somehow she got police cars to move, even though there's no like satellite or anything in police cars.
That's a good point. It's not like it's Transformers.
Which led to the first attempt at a soft reboot, which wasn't even... Terminator Salvation is pretty much a straightforward sequel, kind of, just with the different actors.
With different actors again.
But they get like the Claire Danes character is replaced.
Yeah,
but it's the same character.
And Anton Yelchin's in there, and he's cool.
Yeah,
I like him.
Terminator Salvation had a really shitty script.
Yeah.
Like, the script was fine, it went through so many rewrites and changes, and the movie ended up being flawed. And it doesn't look like a Terminator apocalypse. It looks like Mad Max.
Yeah.
But I give that movie so many points for just trying something new other than let's go back in time and save the person. But not a lot of people liked it. The most memorable thing from that set is Christian Bale yelling at the cinematographer.
Yep.
I'm gonna fucking kick your fucking ass. You know, shut up for a second, all right? I'm gonna go. Do you want me to go fucking trash your lights? Do you want me to fucking trash them?
So now we're at another reboot. Not counting the TV series that everyone forgets. The beginning of the movie, I guess,
Yeah.
So yeah, the beginning is Terminator 1 kind of, until Doctor Who shows up.
Yeah.
And he slaps John Connor.
Slaps him.
And then Kyle Reese goes back in time to 1984, but it's fucked up because another Terminator went back in time to kill Sarah Connor, but was stopped by another Terminator who was back in time.
But then when he showed up, there was a completely different Terminator there waiting for him.
Oh yeah, and then in the future,
Once he got
the one Arnold Terminator fights the original Arnold Terminator from the first movie.
Yes, and then he fights.
Fuck,
No, we're gonna make it. It goes somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, drink that.
Okay, so yeah. So the timeline's been reset, I guess, but I guess alternate timelines exist. Time travel in these movies were so fucked when it came to
this one held the least disregard for any time travel rules. It was like, hey, I'm gonna kill my son before he enslaves the army, but then if I kill him, the army's never created. But if I don't destroy Skynet before I create him, and I don't have sex with Kyle Reese, because during the entire movie I don't want to have sex with Kyle Reese, but then they do like each other, but you don't really know. But then there's
this movie made no fucking sense. Yeah.
There was explosions. That made sense.
Whatever.
And that one guy that died.
So most of the movie is just the characters trying to figure out what's going on.
It's literally just they don't even know.
Kyle Reese has new memories. Even though in all the other Terminator movies, when the past was changed, no one got new memories. And he's like, we got to go to 2017 because kids in the theater don't like 80s shit. And we got to put it in the future. How far in the future? 2 years. So now we're in 2017.
And everyone's addicted to their phones.
Yeah, just like today.
No, there's no comparison there at all. You're flying off the rocker, man. You're way in left field.
And all right, so the first half of the movie, it's kind of like a fun little stupid thing.
There's like nods and stuff.
It felt like a fan film.
It did.
It felt like a fan film.
That's because Arnold's character was kind of fan filmish.
Yeah, he was not acting like a Terminator, like barely acting like a Terminator. Actually, he acted more than I thought he would.
Yeah, he did. He did good acting as the Terminator.
I'll get to him, but then it's like, oh, it's the Terminator Arnold versus Arnold, then Arnold versus a liquid metal guy.
Arnold.
Oh, but liquid metal guy's in the old movie, and then it's Kyle Reese versus a liquid metal guy.
Don't forget that liquid metal guy brings back the original Terminator, which is technically the second Terminator that he kills himself with, because he leaks some of his whatever the hell into his brain and turns it back on.
Yeah,
so then Kyle Reese has to fight two Terminators.
Apparently the T-1000
or re-fight two Terminators?
Wait. The T-1000 can put a little bit of himself in a computer, and I guess he just turned it on and didn't reprogram or anything. Because then why would the Terminator in the second movie not just put his goo inside of Arnold and reprogram him?
Why didn't he?
Yeah, the Arnold daughter thing, like Sarah Connor, that's kind of interesting. It's like, oh, that's weird how that worked out.
Yeah, they called him Pop.
Yeah. And then when the movie goes to 2017, that's when the writers were like, I don't know. It goes off the fucking rail.
The most confusing part for me is why did a Terminator get sent back to when she was 8 and they didn't make a movie about it first?
Oh yeah,
they just decided to be, that was a movie, but it wasn't a movie because it just happened, trust me.
Yeah,
Arnold's second job.
Yeah, they asked who sent old Arnold robot back in time, and he goes classified. Clearly, that's meant for this new franchise that they're trying to start with this movie.
Yeah, because
so we'll find out somewhere down the line. Maybe it'll be like that dark coat fedora guy from the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I can't wait to figure out who that guy is.
It should
be. Oh wait, we're never gonna find out. They're rebooting that already. John Connor shows up, and Skynet, who's now a person.
It's like that Johnny Depp movie that no one watched. Oh wait, hold on.
Oh,
the
Transcendence.
Maybe he was like a satellite. I don't know.
Okay. So Doctor Who I don't know which one. I don't give a fuck about Doctor Who.
The one with he liked the hats.
I don't know. He had a stupid face. He is Skynet. We don't know what he is. If he's a robot,
he looks pretty robotish.
But he had orange goo that came out of him, and then he killed all the soldiers with orange goo, I guess. But he turned John Connor into a robot, a T-3000 or whatever. This is me guessing.
Yeah,
I don't know the numbers. So John Connor is now a robot who loves Skynet. Yep. And because of that, he had flashbacks of a childhood that he had somehow, even though that would only affect the future from that point in time instead of the earlier future where he exists. Because they were his childhood memories, but when the movie started, he was born into the world after Skynet. Wait, you're talking about Kyle Reese now. I'm talking about John Connor. We can't keep it together.
We can't keep because there's too many different timelines.
There's so many different timelines. Why was the T-1000 a cop again?
Well, at least he was Asian.
Yeah, I thought they would all look alike, but yeah, they could
give a variety.
I like the guy who played the T-1000.
Me too.
T-1000 stuff was kind of fun.
It's always fun.
It was weird how they killed him with just acid. I didn't think that would kill a Terminator, but all right. So this new Terminator. Let's talk about the new Terminator. What the fuck?
Well, I'm pretty sure he's like the Vision. If if they were just like stealing ideas from other movie companies.
This new Terminator doesn't make any goddamn sense. He's
so instead of liquid, he pixelates.
Yeah, it's like they said he was like the Skynet rewrote John's cells. So on a cellular level, he was rewritten as a robot, but then he seems less effective than the liquid metal guy.
Well, he talks more, that's for sure.
Well, that we'll get into that. But for what he did, remember the one scene he's impaled, and he's trying to get off. And then in the next scene, he goes through a grate air. And it's wait, why was he stuck?
Well, he got more powerful towards the end when the movie stopped giving a shit.
Yeah, but the first 3 movies, we don't know what's going to kill these robots. It's shit.
This movie, they're just killing them left and right.
The first movie, they don't have access to, machine guns or anything. No. They're just 2 people. And it's how are they going to stop this robot? And then you, quickly find out, these explosives, maybe. And then the second movie... God, throughout that movie is really stressful when you're a kid because you have no idea how they're going to kill this T-1000. And you're like, they froze it. And then it comes up. And then you're like, the molting steel. So you're like, wow, there is a way to kill it. Then the third one, I don't know. They set up that there's that nuclear bomb thing in the Terminator's chest.
Yeah.
And then you saw her hand got damaged. But there's little stuff. Immediately as this Terminator is introduced, we immediately find out its weakness. And we already know what's going to happen. Something with magnets.
Yeah.
How do they work? How do magnets work?
Well,
the Insane Clown Posse. How do they work?
Don't ask them. They don't know. Well, he makes brass knuckles, but they're magnets because they don't affect him because he's made of metal. They only affect when he punches. Anyway.
Are MRIs really that strong with metal?
I don't know if they're gonna dematerialize.
In movies, an MRIs are always just magnifying things. Magnifying. You know what I mean. Magnetizing things, yeah. By the way, that was a scene in Terminator 3 when the girl got magnetized.
Yeah.
She just whipped out a little buzzsaw and cut herself loose. But John Connor robot just goes, I
can't materialize myself like I can later in the movie and save myself.
The poor Dyson family. This poor family. The dad just wanted to make some robots and then he had to blow himself up. And now his son is responsible for an apocalypse. This poor family, they can't catch a break. They didn't choose any of this shit.
No.
Yeah, so John Connor helped the little kid from the second one, the little black kid. He helped him set up the company to make robots, and they're just skipping right to liquid metal. And so this is going to be a new timeline, which they do reference that there's multiple timelines going on. I think that's what Skynet is. Because the Skynet in 2017 remembers what Skynet in the future did. So could Skynet just jump in between timelines? Is he limited by time?
No, I'm going to say no on that one.
I guess he's technically energy and just software in cyberspace. He could go through time. I don't know. This raises a big question. The movie doesn't solve it. No. The movie's fuck. See the third movie that we're going to make. Then maybe we'll solve it. if they don't recast everyone and reboot it again.
Well, I hope they do, because I had a fun time realizing who any of the characters was, since the only person that returned was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So yeah,
everyone else is completely different.
So it ends kind of like the second one did. Just they stop Judgment Day, and the future is bright and hopeful. Oh Jesus! But not really, because then we see Doctor Who turn himself on underneath a big Christmas tree. Mm-hmm. So
don't worry, Daenerys Targaryen will solve it with her dragons.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically the story. I don't know if we made any sense. Probably not.
Wow, that means we described it perfectly.
I think we described it perfectly.
There was one scene where you almost saw Emilia Clarke's boobs, but then you didn't.
But because it's PG-13, we can't have R-rated movies anymore.
So just go watch Game of Thrones if you really want to see it. It's not that. It's not.
Which, by the way, I was saying, I don't really watch Game of Thrones. She's really cute.
Yeah.
However, she sucks as Sarah Connor. She is terrible in this movie.
She was half believable until there were dialogue
She would have been okay as, like, first movie Sarah Connor. But they were trying to make her second movie Sarah Connor, but she was not. No, don't get me wrong.
She was in first movie shape.
Don't get me wrong. Beautiful girl, lovely body.
Yes.
But she's not Linda Hamilton, muscle man.
You're
not
scared of her. You think she's playing the innocent daughter to Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like, oh, I'm just a little girl.
Linda Hamilton in the second one is a fucking beast.
Yeah, you're scared of her. Like probably more than the Terminator.
Like, someone should have had this girl do pull-ups just non-stop for like 4 days.
Yeah.
And then I guess we got Jai Courtney as Kyle Reese. He looks and acts nothing like Kyle Reese. He looks and acts nothing like Kyle Reese. Could have just been a completely different character. That would have been a real change. If John sent a different person back in time because of the love for his father.
They could have. I mean, they did everything else different.
I know. And then the T-1000 is barely a character.
Yeah, which sucks.
I heard there was a Robert Patrick cameo in this. Did you see him at all?
No.
I did not see him at all.
I was looking.
I know. So the T-1000's fine. He's barely a character. He's whatever. The CGI Arnold, it wasn't that.
It was like the same as
Salvation?
Yeah.
Nah, Salvation was smart. They didn't have him talk or anything. They had him stay still, and then they immediately blew his face off.
Yeah, well, that's what they...
This one, they had him talking for a bit, and it was okay. It was kind of... I expected...
Bill Paxton was a huge lack of him in this movie.
Yeah, wait. They spent so much money making Arnold...
Reenacting and all that
They spent so much money making Arnold look like young Arnold. They couldn't even get an actor to look like Bill Paxton. They couldn't even give him the face tattoo like Bill Paxton.
Nope.
And the effects in this are actually pretty decent.
Yeah, Nothing
made my eyes roll.
I really liked the T-1000. I thought they did... Yeah. Like, we have the technology now to make it look how we want it compared to back then.
It still kind of looks like it did originally.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Which is fine. Well, like, this movie's afraid to, change too many things.
No, I don't think they're afraid at
Well,
all.
you know what I mean.
We're going to recast everyone, and there's going to be this unstoppable robot.
The recasting has been going on since this movie, so it's just going to be happening from now on.
Is this going to be like the Christmas Vacation movies, where, Rusty's just different every time?
I read that John Connor is considered the Rusty Griswold of the Terminator films, just because he keeps changing in every movie.
Perfect. That's so perfect.
Jason Clarke as John Connor is a miscast.
Yeah, I didn't... He was good, but not as him.
No, I like Jason Clarke.
Yeah.
I didn't buy him as the military leader.
No.
His hairstyle was all different.
Jewish. But it was very Jewish-looking hair.
I'm leaving that in.
Damn it.
I've been waiting for you.
Why are these robots talking so much?
Because.
What?
How else are we going to know what's going on in the movie if the villain's not explaining it, at least in this instance?
But it's a robot!
Yeah, it needs to show you what's ultimatum or whatever.
I don't get why they talk to each other. Like, the only time they talk to each other in these... the fourth one's like an exception. That's a different thing. The only time they talk to each other in these two movies was to let them know that they were being terminated.
You are terminated.
This one, the robots are having conversations with each other. Arnold's talking to his younger Arnold, like, I've been waiting. Like, no, realistically, they'd be two robots and they'd just be like...
Beep, bop, boop,
beep, bop.
beep, beep,
They
bop,
do it
beep.
earlier in the movie. Remember the one Terminator? He sees that the other Terminator isn't really alive and then he just shoots it. He's not like, why is your CPU... Like, they don't have a conversation. I'm glad he wasn't the main character, because he's not meant to be.
No.
And they did it really, really well.
Well, yeah, they did it nicely, like, combining all three characters and not paying too much attention to any of them.
Yeah, he's, like, serving the purpose. He's there to help.
Plus, there wasn't really much character development since they completely recast everybody, so...
Yeah, and they, you know what, they... Yeah. Well, and then they started to, like, do this thing where he might have feelings, but they didn't overdo it. I expected them to overdo it.
when they had the pictures...
Yeah, because, like, he keeps, like, there's a part where they time travel to the future, but he can't. So he waits.
Take care of my Sarah.
Yeah, he waits, and when she gets back there, she realizes that he held on to pictures of her. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of... I expected that to be way worse. I expected Arnold to, like, start crying. I love my Sarah.
It looked pretty close to that.
Kyle, you must take care of Sarah. Like, a little bit at the end, he said... My Sarah?
Come with me if you want to live.
Ah!
Hasta la vista.
Sorry.
I'll be back.
When she said, come with me if you want to... She looks like a 12-year-old playing dress-up.
Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah, Arnold was fine. He didn't really bother me that much. I expected him to bother me a lot. He at least wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Unlike Bruce Willis in Die Hard 5, he wanted to be there.
Or Wesley Snipes in Blade 3.
And unlike Jeff Bridges in Tron 2, he didn't ruin the movie by just being an idiot. I fucking hate Tron 2. That's the other thing. CGI Arnold in this is way better than CGI Jeff Bridges. Like, you can't make a movie with a digital human being yet. You were not... It's the uncanny valley. The closer you get to realism, the more we notice. You could do it with Gollum, you could do it with a few other things, but with people, it's just... They got lucky with this one, and the last one, they got lucky, but you can't do a whole movie with a digital person.
No.
Unless it's like an animated cartoon. That's different. So yeah, what did you like in this movie? Is there anything redeemable in this movie?
I thought it was cool how they reenacted Judgment Day. Because you never, like, see it that... I don't know, it's cool to see modern technology cover...
Yeah. You see it in that dream sequence.
Although all you see is that one...
It's not as horrifying, though, as it was in the dream. That dream sequence in 2 used to give me nightmares, dude.
I'm trying to think of what I actually enjoyed.
The action scenes weren't anything impressive.
Good.
That helicopter scene was so stupid. That was a video game.
You gotta get him off me!
I'll be back.
What?
I can't think of anything really good. The beginning's kind of interesting. The beginning was like a fun little prequel to 1.
Yeah, like there's just
and then
little stuff that like you were maybe curious.
There were some practical effects.
There were?
Yeah, remember the beginning they had the Terminator driving the truck, and it was a puppet.
Oh,
and there were a few close-ups of puppets, and like his arm was a puppet. I mean, a lot of times it was digital, but there were some scenes where it was puppet, and unlike some other reboots out there right now, it's nice to see more than one practical effect. Just saying. Just saying.
Everyone go watch Evil Dead, the new one. And you'll never look at practical effects the same way again.
I don't get the ending. Okay, so they say you have to... I don't get liquid metal. I don't get how you program...
You don't understand the properties of liquid metal? Well, my friend.
Are they little tiny nanobots? Or is it just liquid?
It's just liquid that can...
But how's it programmed? Where are the circuits? How does it have memory?
Well, what you do is you get this thing.
Yeah, wait.
And if you just put it in the liquid, it just makes a Terminator. That makes the most sense, right?
That's literally what happens at the end.
That's what they did.
For some reason, the place where they make liquid metal is right next to the time machine.
It happens, right next to the time machine.
Just to be convenient.
Just in case.
And there's a big fight, and it would have been a nice little ending for Arnold. But I guess he decided, fuck, I gotta pay child support to my bastard kid.
Yeah.
I better do more of these Terminator movies.
Exactly.
He gets thrown in the liquid metal. He mentions earlier...
He explodes out of the time vortex in half.
Before that, he mentions the liquid metal. They're like, should we be worried about that? And he goes, no, they need a CPU to be activated. And you're like, Oh, okay. I was thinking, maybe there's like a different CPU for... Obviously, there would have to be, right? Arnold gets thrown into the liquid metal.
Half of him.
Yeah. And then he comes back as liquid... I don't know if he's all liquid metal or if he's half. You'd think if he was liquid metal, he would look like...
Well, he got cut at the torso. I'm pretty sure he had his arms. Well,
yeah.
He had one arm,
But the point is, his little CPU went into the liquid, and that somehow programmed him. It's like, wait, that takes the same CPU as a T800? That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's backward compatible.
We can't even make game systems backward compatible.
Yeah, well, thankfully they can make these guys backward compatible.
Wait, so I don't know if he's all liquid metal or not.
I don't know because at the end when he came back, he only had one claw,
and that was an arm that he lost earlier.
But he didn't use his other hand, which was still attached when he got severed in half and dropped into the pool.
And it's liquid. I feel like this ending was so tacked on, dude. Because he comes back literally seconds after he died, and they're having like a sad scene about him. He goes, "I thought you were dead." No, just upgrade it. It reminded me of the RoboCop remake, where they're like, "We have to upgrade him, give him black armor." How would you rank this with the other Terminators? Where would you list this in your order of best to worst?
Wow, that's a tough question because it's gonna be right next to 3. And this one, and honestly, I think Salvation's a little better. But these two, they're going to win every time. But this one, 3, and Genesis, is that what it was called? I don't even remember. Me and Terminator Genesis.
Wait, we forgot the title of the movie. Okay. Skynet was originally a Cyberdyne thing, right?
Cyberdyne to Skynet.
Right, and they made Skynet. I guess they were selling it to the military or something. So they had some military dealings. Whatever. Skynet went, destroyed everything. The third movie, there is no Cyberdyne. It got shut down. But the military took Skynet and they worked on it, became self-aware, killed everything. Skynet now is an app or an operating system like Mac, the Snow Leopard or whatever the fuck they're on now, Yosemite. It's an operating system, and there are advertisements for it everywhere.
It's every billboard.
Do you see a lot of... I know, like Windows 8...
there was just as much advertisement as that as there was product placement in the movie. Because now I want a Pepsi. that was like an hour ago.
But yeah, there's like Pepsi. Every single block is a Genesis thing, and I'm like... Aren't there any other things to be advertising? Why is
that in Pepsi?
And everyone just can't wait for Genesis. It reminded me of the movie Her with that operating system.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. Yes. So Genesis, it's basically like a fucking app or something. How is that linked to the military? I don't get it. Why would the military be worried about some public operating? So don't they have like their own operating systems or?
Nah, man, this is the future. We're a lot stupider.
Yeah, so somehow your fucking cell phone gets the fucking rockets to go off.
Everyone has the button.
I think this is because Terminator 3 is so lazy.
It was just... And it was literally only a blockbuster. There was no other purpose to it.
It was so lazy. This one was so crazy.
I think it was also pretty lazy because they were just like, who cares about timelines? Let's just throw people.
Well, at least that's something. Like the third one was like, oh, Judgment Day is postponed, but whatever. Here's the. I think I like the third one more. It's dumb.
Really, you like the third one more than this one?
I think it's dumb, but I felt like it was quicker.
The third one they're running from something. This one they're not really running. As weird as it sounds,
no,
they're just kind of.
They don't have time to run. John Connor's always there.
Yeah, all they do is just plan as they run.
I feel like the third one had better. I feel like the third one had better action sequences.
Like it was basically like, okay, running and fighting, dialogue packing up shit, running and fighting, dialogue packing up shit, running and fighting, dialogue packing up shit.
Yeah, it really was just.
And then the finale of 20 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Of explosions and dying.
So
there was no prep after that.
Would you recommend Terminator Genesis?
No. I would recommend Terminator 3 because at least it's like maybe it feels like it's almost aware that it's just a summer blockbuster, whereas this one was just like, no. No, we're
gonna
make
be
this
something
We're gonna be
more.
so different. We're gonna change this idea we've done 6 times to something completely different, and you'll never see it.
I say never see this movie.
Yeah,
I don't want another Terminator. Just let it die. It should have just been one movie. You got lucky at the second. Just let the fucking franchise die. Let it die. There's nothing more. There's nothing more to explore in this.
No.
The whole apocalypse was just a cool framework for things to happen in the first movie. And now it's like, oh my god. I just wish Salvation continued. At least we would have just had a robot war movie. Yeah. Not have to worry about this time travel shit.
Yeah.
Eventually you would, but... Tom, I know how to save the future of Terminator.
You do?
We have to stop these movies from being made. I know what to do.
What?
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
What?
Tom, don't freak out.
Okay.
I kidnapped former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my god! Oh god!
Take the CPU out of his brain.
I got it!
That's what makes him do Terminator sequels. Break it so he stops doing Terminator sequels.
We have to smash it!
God. Break it!
Make it
Break
stop!
it!
Make
Break it!
stop. I hate this. I hate this.
Why, Arnold? Why did you make us do this?